Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. I'm Holly. Today I'm sharing with you a what's for dinner video. So tonight I'm making some chicken spaghetti. So I just have some skinless chicken thighs and some whole grain linguine that I'm going to use instead of regular spaghetti for this. Also some Prego, just spaghetti sauce. You can use whatever kind you like. I'm using the chunky roasted garlic and herb. And a lot of times I use different ones when I'm making this just to change it up every now and then, change the flavor. And the Raging Cajun chicken and gator seasoning, some pepper, and some garlic powder. I always have to have my garlic powder. So all that I do for this is just season up my chicken, and I like to put it in a large, pan, so that way I can, fry it down before adding it to the spaghetti sauce. So I just, season it with the garlic powder. And as I said before, anytime I cook chicken or anything, I add garlic powder to it. And I'm just showing you, I already seasoned the other side, so I'm just seasoning this side now. And then I'm going to add that Cajun seasoning to it. And this adds a lot of flavor as well. You can season your chicken however you want, whatever your favorite seasonings are. And then a little bit of black pepper. So I fry that up or brown it up. And I cook it almost pretty much till it's cooked through. And then while I'm doing that, I also make the linguine. I make that a little later, actually, when it's in the oven. But I just take a 9 by 13 inch pan, and I put the chicken in, pour the spaghetti sauce over it, and then I add a little bit of sugar just to help offset the acidity of the sauce. I just like mine a little bit sweeter. So I'll put this in the oven. I'll cover it, put it in the oven on 350 for about an hour. And this is what it looks like when it comes out. I just put that on that linguine. It's really delicious. It's really one of our favorites to have. And it just changes things up a little bit from having just, regular, spaghetti and meatballs or, spaghetti and meat sauce. But a really good meal, and hopefully gives you some ideas on something you can make for your family during the week and change things up a little bit maybe with different dishes that you make. This next one is a rotisserie chicken and rice casserole. So this one's really simple and easy and simple ingredients. You may already have some of these in your pantry, but all you need is 3 cups of rotisserie chicken, and I just shredded it up as the best that I could. Also, you can use, if you have chicken at home that you want to cook, you can do that as well. But rotisserie chicken is always just so easy. You need a can of cream of chicken soup, I think it's 2 tablespoons of melted butter. You need a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise or Greek yogurt, a 1/2 cup of crushed up cornflakes, and not pulverize them, just crush them up into little pieces. You'll need 3/4 cup of celery chopped up, a 1/2 cup of slivered or sliced almonds, and I'm using the sliced ones, and then 3 cups of cooked rice. And you can use whatever rice you like, whatever your favorite one is, would be great in this recipe. So to a bowl, I'm just going to add my chicken, and then I'm going to put to the side the melted butter and the cornflakes. That will go on last. And basically start adding everything to it. So add your mayonnaise or the Greek yogurt. And I like to mix everything as I go. So add the celery. Then add the almonds. And then I'll add the cream of chicken soup. And then I spray a 9 by 13 inch baking dish with some nonstick spray. So you just don't want anything to stick to it or burn. Then I just put that mixture into the pan. And then I'm going to I forgot also to add the salt and pepper, so I'm adding that now. And I'm just going to mix it in, while it's in the pan. So as you go, just kind of, add some seasoning. I did add some garlic powder. It wasn't called for in the recipe, but I felt like it needed just a little bit more seasoning. So whenever you do a recipe, if you feel like it needs more seasoning, it probably does. So I'm just spreading that out as evenly as I can get it to make a thin layer, or, you know, a smooth layer. Then I take the cornflakes and just sprinkle that on top and try to cover the whole, you know, top of the mixture. Then once I have that done, I'm going to take the butter and gradually just, you know, pour it over or drizzle over the cornflakes. And then I'm going to put this in the oven on 350 and bake it for roughly 30 to 40 minutes or until it's heated completely through. And this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. The cornflakes brown just a little bit. And this was a really delicious meal. So really did enjoy this one. Very simple and easy to make. And I think it's a great weeknight meal, budget friendly. So, you know, this is one I think, you know, you should try, especially if you like dishes, like casserole dishes with rice and chicken. Really a good one. This next one is a chicken enchilada with white cream sauce, and another simple one. Like I said, you know, you probably already have some of these ingredients in your pantry, but I'm using, it's 2 cups of cooked shredded chicken, and I'm using a you know, a rotisserie chicken because it's just so much easier. And you can, you know, cook 2 large chicken breasts and it will probably get you 2 cups of shredded chicken. Now the recipe calls for 2.5 cups of shredded Monterey Jack cheese, which I have here, and this is 2 cups, and then that's the half a cup that's reserved for later. The 2 cups is supposed to go into the sauce, but then you're actually supposed to have some cheese mixed in with the chicken and roll it up in the tortilla. Well, there's no more cheese. So I did shred up another block of, you know, Monterey Jack cheese because I felt like you need that, and the recipe wasn't clear with having extra for that. So beware, it's more than 2.5 cups. You need, you know, a little extra. You need 3/4 cup of chicken broth, half a cup of heavy whipping cream, and a block of cream cheese, 3 tablespoons of butter, and 2 cans of chopped green chilies. And I'm using carb balance flour tortillas. You need about 10 of them. And I have 2 packs because you only get 8 in each pack. So depending on how much, you know, you want to make, you do have to have those extra. And to a small saucepan or medium-sized saucepan, take your cream cheese, and I cut it into blocks, so make sure you do that. It's just easier for this to melt. And also the butter. And once you have that, you're just going to melt this down. And I like to melt this down first with also the heavy cream. And you start melting it. So I have it already, you know, going. And also the chicken broth. And then just stir it, and it'll start to, you know, get hot and cook down. And then as it's cooking, you know, as it's melting, then I will add the Monterey Jack cheese. I don't want to add it right away. I just feel like it would just, you know, take a little bit too long for everything to, or it might burn as well. Once the butter and the cream cheese is melted down, then I add the Monterey Jack cheese to this, and this melts really pretty quickly. I'll add the green chilies to it and just stir that in. Sorry for all of that steam. And the cheese doesn't take long at all to melt. So while that's sitting, I put that to the side, and then I'm going to start rolling the tortillas up. So just put your tortilla on a plate. Takes about, it's at about 2 or 3 tablespoons of the chicken. I'm just, you know, putting what I feel will work in these. And just make sure, you know, as you're adding it, that you have enough to do 10 tortillas. And I realized I had to add a little bit more chicken to it because, and then I'm adding the Monterey Jack cheese with that as well that I had on the side. So with the chicken, as I was saying, and then I just roll it up. So just kind of roll it up as tightly as you can, and then seam side down, you'll put this into, I sprayed a pan and just put that in it. But I'm gonna put all of these on another plate first before I do that, and just continue to roll these up. But just like I said, make sure you have enough chicken to, you know, put on all of them. But I did have to add a little bit more chicken. I had some of the dark meat as well, so I shredded that up in the end because I didn't have enough to put, you know, the chicken on 10 tortillas. So I feel like you should actually have about 3 cups of chicken just to be on the safe side instead of 2 if you're going to do 10 of these. And here I'm just showing you, I was only able to get 6 with the meat that was suggested for the recipe. But I was able to get 10, like I said, by adding just a little bit more dark meat to it. So this is just filling them into, or fitting them into the pan. You will have to kind of get them in there as tightly as you can. And then I take that cheese sauce, and then I'm going to pour this over the tortillas. And I just try to get that on all of them as evenly as I can, and I'm trying to cover the entire tortillas so that way they don't dry out when they're in the oven. And then I put the rest of the cheese, the Monterey Jack cheese, on top. Then I put it in the oven on 350 for about a half an hour or so till, you know, that cheese gets all nice and bubbly, and you can see how good that looks when it gets brown on top. And this was a delicious meal, very simple and easy to make, and we really enjoyed this. I just served it with some broccoli and just put some parsley on top. If you have cilantro, you can do that as well. We're not big fans of cilantro, so parsley is what I used. But really delicious, just a simple, easy weeknight meal. And this is what it looks like when, you know, it's cut open. This one I think had more of the dark meat in it, one of the ones that I did, but very flavorful and very filling, so really did enjoy this one. And this last recipe is a slow cooker cracked chicken, so really simple and easy, and I love using my Crockpot when I can, and I had to work in the evening this night, so this worked out perfectly for this meal. So just, you need about 2 pounds of boneless skinless chicken breast. I'm using 3. And you will also need some shredded cheddar cheese, 1.5 cups, and it's best if you can shred it yourself and not use the pre-shredded. It just melts a lot better. 6 to 8 pieces of bacon that's cooked and, you know, crumbled up, and I probably have about 9 or 10 pieces there, so use as much or as little as you want. Also, half a cup of green onions chopped up, half a cup of chicken broth, 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese, softened, and some ranch seasoning. So just 1 ounce packet of ranch seasoning. So this one, you can't get much easier. So put your chicken in the crock pot, then add your chicken broth. And I did season those chicken breasts with garlic powder, as you may have guessed. And then I just sprinkle over the top of the chicken the ranch seasoning. And then I'm going to put the cubes of cream cheese on top of each of the chicken breast. And then I still had some of the seasoning left in the packet, so I'm just sprinkling it over the top of the cream cheese. I just wanted to make sure that everything gets fully seasoned. And then I just put it on, the cover on for about 5 hours. I think the recipe said about 6 to 7 on the low. I know my crock pot, and I just did it for about 5 hours. Once it was cooked, then I just started to shred the chicken in the crock pot. So just shred your chicken up into that juice. And then I just kind of evenly, you know, and once it's all shredded, kind of have an even layer. And then I'm going to sprinkle over the shredded cheddar cheese. So I cover all of that, try to make sure I have enough. If you need more, you can add more. I always say more cheese is better, but I think I had enough for this. So I put the right amount. And then I just took the bacon, and it's the same thing here, you know, more the better, I think. So I just made sure, you know, that was sprinkled evenly on top along with the green onions. So, and if you don't like green onions, you don't have to add them, but it definitely adds a lot of flavor to recipes, especially, you know, this one. So once I had all of the green onions on top, I covered it again, and I cooked it on low just for about 15 minutes, just so that way the cheese would melt. And once that was done, this is what it looks like. Really, really did enjoy this one. So this is a really good one to make. Very simple and easy. I think it would be please anyone in your family. So this is what it looks like when it was plated up, and then we just had some peas with it. Really a delicious weeknight meal. So I hope that you enjoyed these recipes. I find that they all were good budget friendly ones and all tasted really delicious. So if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing more like it, please click that subscribe button and the notification bell. That will notify you when I post new videos. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. I absolutely appreciate each and every single one of you. I hope that you have a blessed day and a great week. God bless y'all.